How's it going, everyone? How's it going? Happy Thursday, and welcome to Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Want to welcome everybody to the show. Say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much, my brother. We got an exciting show planned for you this week. You got a lot of good information. Today we'll be talking about don't wait till your kids are adults to try to discuss finances with them. Go through a lot of good information in terms of ways I think that families, kind of discuss finances, and also ways you can kind of instill certain things in your kids as far as from a financial and practical manner in terms of discussing their future finances and things like that. But I'm really excited about that. As always, what we do, we go into the rehash my previous week, and we on that down tick. I put the video out yesterday. 5 days left. We had 4 days left for the tax deadline. And excuse me, my brother is running on fumes right now. I am T.I. Red. I'm tired as hell, man. I'm really putting in 20-hour days. Some of the days I be fronting. It might be a good 15 or 16 shit. I'm putting in real 20-hour days. No sleep or whatever and everything, but it's good because, again, I know 2 weeks from now the phone ain't going to ring, so you better get it while you can get it. So
right.
It's been going great. I am the owner of Majestic Business Services. We are a small-scale business service firm, and near the end of tax season, we've been grinding. Want to reach out to everybody. Like I told them before, we got a couple of days left. We will file an extension for you, so you just reach out to us if you need. If you haven't filed and you haven't got all your stuff together, we'll take care of the extension for you. So just reach out to us. That's Majestic Business Services. Our number is 678-479-4007. Again, that's 678-479-4007. Again, if you need that extension, we'll take care of that for you. So just reach out to us with that. The next thing we'll talk about, spring break is over. The kids had a little good time, and I know everybody was enjoying traffic-free roads for a whole week.
Well, Douglas County just started this week.
Really?
Yeah, they just went in this week.
Wow.
Yeah,
So my kids are back in school and everything like that, so I'm able to keep, I know by the amount of food still in the refrigerator and all that kind of stuff, the sandwiches are gone. So, that's been cool. Like I say, the traffic just back to normal and everything, so that was one thing. We had a real great response to last week's show. Had a lot of folk reaching back saying that, they liked it. That's
good.
That surprised me. And we hit that milestone that we talked about. We hit 1,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And so I want to thank everybody for the support and the growth of the channel. I've been doing a lot of ways in terms of just pushing it out there, trying to get subscribers all kind of different ways, trying to reach out to contractors and paying with the Google ads, and also just doing all kind of other work here. And I'm really hit it hard after tax season is over with a lot of promos, using a lot of different guerrilla marketing strategies. But that's the biggest thing with anyone. I'll tell you, if you want to try to grow a YouTube channel and doing a lot of research, number one, you do got to have great content and have a good product out there, but you got to be realistic in terms of it's a marathon and not a race.
That's right.
And also you got to invest a lot of your time and money into it. So, and if you're not willing to do that, you're going to have where you see so many people have started YouTube channels and they'll make videos for a good month or two and don't get any traction and quit.
Yeah.
And you have to go in there mentally prepared to just battle. It's a war.
You got to be doing it for a long time. You gotta really, like, I've had a YouTube channel for years, years until I transferred it over to what we got now. I used out my YouTube channel for Misfits Media Group, but we've been doing this for a year, April 5th, and cool. In April 5th, from 1 year, it took us to get up to the subscribers we are now. I think we had 353 or something like that. But we've been doing more of a slower pace kind of grind, just trying to. Because we have so many videos, and I want our channel to look like a Netflix channel. Like when you come to it, it's got the covers and all that stuff on there. So we put a lot of time. Well, I put a lot of time into that channel.
You gotta speak French.
Try to make it, trying to make it look, presentable. Because as we do the research, we talk all the time. That you gotta have something. It's gotta be visually pleasing before they even click on the first video. They gonna look at your channel and be like,
What is this?
What is this?
Yeah. Yeah. I've learned a lot. You know, I think we talked a couple shows back in terms of just with I've done a lot with Facebook and Instagram advertising. You know, sometimes people and I paid for a lot of times to even go out of state.
Right.
You know, just going like places like Houston and Dallas and New York and Philly and stuff like that, just to hit the Instagram promos. Like, okay, swipe, hit this, you know, and everybody joining in from there. So it's been that's been a great learning curve just to find out just how that whole algorithm and you know just get those shot groups and target markets with your Facebook and Instagram. But it's a lot of work, and you see
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much work that social media is. It's a lot of work, Deonte, and you know from the research we talked about how much work it is. Like somebody, I think people actually get paid to run companies' YouTube and social media channels because it's work. It's like a real job.
That's one of the fastest growing career fields right now. Those social media managers.
Social media
managers. And you know you talking about. You can be doing that, you know. I think folks charging anywhere from $250 all the way a couple $1,000s a month, depending on how much they're doing and stuff. But they're doing daily posts and all kind of stuff and putting out content for you and stuff. So that's
I was doing that for somebody for a little while, but I stopped because I was just I have so many social medias. Then you know the YouTube and radio and all the podcast places we stream from. So that's work too.
a whole lot. That's why that was I was just reading about that in the magazine. That's one of those fastest growing fields and stuff. But it's a lot. And what I did find in my research, if you're consistently putting out X amount of videos over time, putting out good content, use that 2 or 3 year mark and everything. Let's even put in perspective where you go look at, okay, this person got you know, a couple thousand subscribers on YouTube, because YouTube and Instagram is totally different. Talk about growing,
totally,
you know, and everything. But it's like I said again, it's not a race; it's a marathon, and we in it to win it, so we ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
I don't know if any people noticed, because it was kind of like we were getting it together, but I hadn't got everything finalized the last minute. But this Tuesday, I was a guest on a Stellar Roof Table with Miss Kimberly Brown. She's based out of Phoenix.
Okay.
I had it streaming live on Facebook and Instagram both. And I really didn't get it finalized in terms of what we were doing until Monday night.
Okay.
So the podcast is actually probably going to be edited and done probably by the end at the end of this week, maybe probably next week.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty cool. We did a show in Venus and Mars.
Okay.
Talk about different issues. She went through 10 questions. There was me and another brother. I think he was out of L.A. I don't know where the other sister was from. I know Kimberly's based in Phoenix. But we talked almost 3 dang hours.
Really?
Just going over all the topics, man. It was real cool. But you know, with the podcast and stuff, we just did our recording. I know she got to go chop it up and everything with that. But it was an awesome show. It was a great experience. But I think a lot of people see me streaming on Facebook and back and forth with YouTube may have caught some of it. But that's what I was doing as Kimberly Brown. So if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube, go to Stellar Roof Table. You know, she named after her grandmother. Dedicated the name after her grandmother, but it was real cool. We had a lot of good topics in terms of that with Venus and Mars, and I don't know if I'm a male expert or a female expert. I just I just go with the flow, brother.
Just go with it.
Yeah, so that was a good opportunity. Shouts out with that.
Yeah.
I do want to announce a good friend of mine. They're having they own a Heaven's Gate. I won't say it's a daycare, but like a after school facility. They're based in Morrow. They're having a springtime festival this weekend. Again, that's Heaven's Gate. They're having a spring festival this weekend. They're located at, what was the address? 6021 Maddox Road in Morrow, Georgia. It's a community event. It's gonna be this Saturday, April 13th, from 11 to 5 p.m. It's gonna be a community event. Have all the bells and whistles for the kids to play with. Also gonna be doing health screening. Be some couple more vendors out there. But if you need to get in contact with them, the number is 770-572-5187. Again, that's Heaven's Gate Spring Festival. The number is 770-572-5187. So check them out this weekend. If you got nothing to do this weekend, or if you do got something this weekend, just swing by there. They're right across the street from Morrow High School. Real good people, Heaven's Gate. We want to get into everything with today's show topic. And we're talking again about parents not waiting till your kids are adults to talk about finances. And You know what? When thinking about this show in particular, yeah, most of my friends right now, our kids are, young adults. Some are grown, those early 20s and everything, and everybody's having the same kind of argument. My son and daughter think I'm a damn bank. No, you get that shit together, this, that, and that. And sometimes the response I give with a lot of it is that, hey man, did you prep them?
Right.
Because sometimes, when the person is being a leech, and when they genuinely just don't damn know. Yeah. And a lot of times, people haven't really prepared their kids for that. They tell them the basic shit: save some money, invest some money, live below your means, and everything. And they're great. Those are great ideas. But again, they're ideas. They're not necessarily blueprints or plans.
Right.
Right. When you tell somebody to save money, that's such a gray damn term because there's 20 or 30 different ways you can save money.
Right.
Same thing with investing. Same thing with living below your means. And I wanted to address this subject today because I think a lot of times parents, we really do a bad job of, number one, making ourselves financially literate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. And then number two, preparing our kids to do that. And it's far too often you have people living, going through that, and when you look at finances, they cause so much friction in households in terms of divorce, arguments, things like that.
That's
because
so true.
Because people thinking about money, and when kids growing up, a lot of times they have pretty much every damn thing they want.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they ain't got no money, you see the kids. I see it sometimes. You see the people on Instagram or Facebook. The kids got the new J's and this, that, and that, but they have no concept whatsoever what it took to get those.
Exactly.
And as parents, a lot of times we blindly want to get the best things for our children, but we do a very horrible job of giving them to understand the sweat equity and the sacrifice that came to getting that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a nice house, we got a nice car, but this is what it took to get it.
Right.
And it's a little bit more than sometimes mom and dad get up in the morning, going to work, and that's what doing it. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this subject, because I really want parents to start thinking about that. As even though your baby can't understand as young as infancy, looking at ways you can start talking about things as far as finance with your kids, but most important, also putting yourself in a situation you know what the hell going on.
Right.
You
have to lead by example.
Lead by example and everything, and you don't want to be a situation where you just dictating and teaching an adult, because you can easily be a damn caretaker
That's
to
true.
a 30-year-old, and it happens far too often.
Yeah.
And everything, and you have so much friction where parents are doing that, and it's a real touchy subject.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real touchy subject, and we're gonna bring up a lot of those reasons why it's a touchy subject and everything. So, but I think once we get through with today's show, you have a whole lot more insight on what you can do as a parent to help your kid be more financially literate, and also make sure you are as well. Okay, first one, just go through a look. 3 reasons why I have where how families usually discuss finances. Parents discuss finance with their children, and the first way we look at it is they pretty much open, talking about it. Hey, this is what I made. This is what your mama made. This is our credit score. This is what it took and everything like that. And I think this is probably the smallest percentage of people where you have total transparency, know what's going on. Hey, we filed for bankruptcy this month, and we can't do this for a while. We can't do this because dad got laid off. Your mom is not going to be able to get start a new job. A lot of times parents don't have those kind of conversations because, again, parents, the world can beat us down and make us feel real low, but the one place we feel like a champion is at home in front of our children.
In front of our children. I was about to say that. Yeah.
And we don't want to show our kids sometimes we're human.
Or break their image of us.
Exactly.
They have this image that mom and dad can save the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you don't want to tell them, well, mom and dad really can't save the world. You know what I'm saying? Mom and dad having a hard time saving us.
You can be grown. You got kids growing up in the projects, and because they get everything they want, they just really think that, hey, we rich.
Yeah.
We rich. And mom and dad, they could be in the projects. Mom and dad got a Mercedes. They get all the stuff they want for Christmas, super birthday bashes, but they still have never been told, like, hey, we know we really check the check. We, we're doing that. And I think, that group of people just being straight up, transparent, teaching them this, teaching them that, not necessarily even imploring the ideas, because we're talking about the ways families discuss it, making their kids financially literate, but they're open and honest about everything with doing it. But I do think that's the smallest group to doing that. The second group is they parents show through the belongings they have.
Oh.
Okay, we got this house, we got this car, so it's kind of inferred, and everything like that. Hey, we're gonna go to Disney World, we're gonna do this and do that, and you go on your trip from Disney World, come back. Hey, mama, why the lights off? And and everything.
You just come from Disney World.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, they're doing everything they can to make stuff happen. And also the other side of the spectrum, we ain't doing shit. So it's already understood. We ain't got no money. We can't do that. My mama said we ain't got no money to go there. I can't go that field trip. My mama already told me we can't do it. So more so just the things that you have, just kind of be that validation point and everything with that. I think a lot of people fall into that because again, we start having conversations about with children about finances and stuff. Parents don't want to, be open about what's going on. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think it's more parents that don't want to tell their children that they live check and don't want to sit stuff back and tell them, look, we can't afford that this time. Maybe next time or maybe time after, but right now we can't afford that. I think the hardest thing to do is to tell your child no sometimes. You don't want to, parents don't want to tell them no, even though they should, because financially no is all you know financially, but a lot of times parents don't want to tell their children no. I don't know why, but we have this image of we want to give our children more than what we had when we were growing up. When actually when we were growing up, we didn't have that bad because we didn't know we were. A lot of times you didn't know you po. You ain't know you po. You just living life. You know what I mean? You just doing what you do. And because you're in an environment where everybody is pretty much in the same boat as you are, and they pretty much do the same things that you do, you don't know you poor because Ike doing the same thing I'm doing. Yeah, and or Frank got to eat surf sandwich too. So it's like we all doing the same things because we don't know it because we all are in the same environment.
Yeah, and love can mask a lot of stuff too. If you're in a good environment, everybody's happy and stuff like that. I think, man. And I don't know if I brought this up. I really didn't realize how poor we was until I became an adult and I started doing my grandmother's taxes. And I think growing up, I know my grandfather, he was disabled, so he couldn't work. But I think we had probably a combined income, household income of $30,000, something like that. And I didn't realize until I was older. I'm like, how the hell were we surviving?
But the lights were never off.
Never.
I was raised by my grandparents too. For off and on, but I guarantee you they probably didn't have $30,000 to rub together a yearly income between the two of them. My grandfather was in the Army; he was disabled and all that stuff, but the lights were never off. The water was never turned off. It's like, how do they do all this stuff with bringing home maybe $500 or $800 a month? You know what I'm saying?
I was a chunky little boy. I mean, belly stayed full and everything. So that's why you just sit there like, wow. You go from one part of being shocked and you're like, wow. You kind of make it feel good that you're raised by people that like, how in the world did y'all make it happen? So, you go through that little shock and you just turn to pride. But that's one of the things that, the second one we were talking about, the parents just actually show through what they have and everything. So, like I said, it's inferred. We got a lot of shit, so we okay. We ain't got a damn thing, so we ain't.
I think that's more so now than it was maybe back then when we were growing up. Because if you think about it, even though, like we said, our grandparents, we wonder how they do it. Back then, we wasn't really. I don't remember, and I could be wrong. And I'm 48. We old. I'm old compared to today's standards, but I just don't remember us being so into things like that. I mean, we might want a bike. A big wheel or something like that, but I just don't remember us being like, man, I got to get them Jordans or I got to get this. Not until we got to teenagers in high school where that influence through us. But just being younger, I just don't remember that having. Like, you getting kids now, 1 year old getting Jordans. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I just don't remember it being that much of a thing then. Now it's a thing. Now your son got to have Jordans on and True Religion pants and $400 T-shirts at 1.
I think part of that is you didn't have the internet, so you had accessibility to see what's out there. Because I don't know, it may have been created or and everything. Then the other thing is too, people have accessibility to do better. You know, because of what technology you have. You know, people getting we look back into growing up in the say 80s, even the mid 90s. You probably didn't have as many mothers or females bringing in where you got dual same income and stuff like that. So just that accessibility thing there. And then but it's still probably the same premise. You know, the less you got, the more you want to try to have to make you feel good.
Right.
And everything. So that don't change anything. Oh, the head baby gonna need that $400 support. And that's son. Yeah. But that the third thing we were talking about, in terms of how parents discuss finance with their kids, they just hide everything. And he ain't saying shit. When he say now, hey mama, how we do that? I don't damn know. Dad, how we supposed to do that? I don't damn know.
Right.
I don't know this, that, and that. We ask all these damn questions. Stop being so damn nose. Be a child. And they let the kids be clueless and just figure out and find out by themselves. And that's probably one of the major ways that most people find out about taxes. Not taxes, God, I'm using to tell my mind that. About finances, because I don't think the parents hide it. I think the parents just don't know. They don't want the kids to know they don't know, or they might be in bad shape. So we only want to talk about it.
Right.
We don't want to talk about it. You just figure it out. That's why you think the vast majority of people, especially in the black community, they come out and they're totally damn clueless on what to do. You spend your 20s just effing everything up. Your 30s trying to restore it. In your 40s, you kind of getting back on top and trying to do it, as opposed to starting out with some kind of knowledge base younger, and then finding your way. What's the best way for you to navigate through it?
Yeah, well, I will say I was lucky because my grandmother actually worked at a bank, and she did all the finances for the household. And she showed me at a young age how to write checks and stuff like that. And she went through the household budget. This is what we have. This is what we need to pay. So she did show me those things. Now, me sitting there going, oh, that's great, wasn't what I was doing. I was like, okay, well, I need to go back outside, but she did show me those things. And I guess it helped me later on when I got older, got in my jobs where I could do budgets and stuff. Now, I don't even want to do no budgets. I'm like, I don't do no budgets. I don't want to see no bills. I don't do none of that stuff, so it affects me different, but she did. I will say she did sit me down, show me the checkbook, gave me a fake checkbook, told me, hey, write checks. This is how you write checks, made me practice. So those things, she did show me. So I'm not going to say she just kept me clueless to everything. My clueless came from the fact that I didn't want to know that. I'm 10. I'm trying to get back out that door. It's the middle of June, school out.
Well, I was the opposite. I didn't get any kind of instructions. Oh, okay. Nothing. Just work. No kind of family budget. No kind of nothing. Now, check to check, I get paid. Everything brought out, I get paid here. We'll wait to the end. If you know they ain't get paid, it's probably a good possibility you might be able to take care of it on the next check. Right. But nothing with credit and anything. The thing what got me on board with a lot of stuff, my high school, C.L. Harper, they had the Madden program was financial services. And I played football in high school, still wasn't thinking about getting into it. And if you was in the Madden program, you got a free MARTA card. So I ain't had no way to get home from football practice. So my thing, well, let me get in this Madden program so I can get me a damn MARTA card. Okay. That's how I got into it. Okay. When that had nothing to do with me being interested in finance or anything like that. I remember it like yesterday, like, you get a free MARTA card for real? Because they start off getting you tokens, then they start getting you the MARTA cards and stuff. Shit, okay, cool. Because my mother made it clear, I'm not getting your ass in practice. You're right. Shoot, and I wasn't finna walk from Harper to Bankhead every day. So I got into the Madden program, and that's how, I got a gist of it. But my homeroom teacher was also the director of the MAD program, Mr. Shingles. So he laid a lot of game on me. And once I got into it, I got interested, and the rest is history. But I definitely didn't get any kind of foundation or anything like that from the family.
Yeah, I mean the grandmama did teach me about check right now. Credit, we never discussed credit. I ain't know nothing about no credit. I couldn't have told you. I mean, we never discussed credit. I think it's because they were oblivious to it and they didn't have it because they were mostly paying stuff with cash. I got $5. It's cost $6. I can't buy that. So pretty much. So we never discussed credit. The credit was never a conversation. It was pretty much this is what we have. This is what we need to pay. This how we gonna do it. And that was it. Write a check or whatever. But it was never a case of you need to keep your credit score looking good. It was never. We never talked about credit ever.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that was because they want to be transparent, or might just didn't know?
I believe it was because my grandmother and them didn't know.
Gotcha.
I believe that they didn't have credit. I'm 95% sure they didn't have any credit cards.
Yeah.
They pretty much did everything by what was in the bank and a checkbook and pretty much like cash. Just pretty much. They never had a credit card.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they knew anything about the credit cards. I really don't believe that they knew anything about it. They was really oblivious to it. They didn't know anything about credit or credit cards or any of that kind of stuff. I believe even when we bought, my grandfather used to always buy these conversion vans because we was always deliver newspapers on Saturdays and Sundays. But he would buy those for cash. It wasn't necessarily a finance thing. It was like, this car costs $2,000. I need to wait, save up a couple of months or a couple of weeks or whatever, however it was, and go buy that car. It was never a case of, well, I'm going to put $200 down and get that car. That wasn't the case. Yeah.
Son, while I'm even thinking, it's like the vast majority of families, you go back from the 50s or even 30s forward, the only dealing they have with credit was just maybe their mortgage.
Right.
And what I don't know, what got me thinking, I don't know if in that era, let's say from the 50s all the way to the 70s or 80s, I don't know how much credit scores as opposed to just income.
I don't think back. I don't know. I want to say I don't think back then that credit scores really mattered back then as much as they do today.
Yeah.
I think it was more of just what your income and what you can pay. I really believe that to be the case because, like I said, my grandma didn't have any credit cards. I know this for a fact.
Yeah, because why I'm even thinking about that, because you look back at I don't think they had accessibility to the information in terms of probably till maybe late or early 90s with the internet, or maybe even with faxes to actually talk to the actual reporting agencies to get some information back.
Right.
So you really probably have that access to it, and that probably just started with fax machines or something like that.
I mean, they could call them and wait for them to call them back, maybe, and say, well, they trying to get this house, how they credit looking. And that may take 2 or 3 weeks for them to get back to them, because you think about how many people probably call them. Maybe they did it that way. But that was just something we never discussed. We never discussed the mortgage. I don't even know if they had a mortgage, to be honest with you. So
I know my granddad had one over the house over there off Bankhead for some fact that I always remember when he paid it off. He got a 30-year mortgage. He was, the note was about $300, and when he paid it off, I remember how proud he was that he paid it off. But that goes back to we get back on talk about it, but that goes back to what I always say about family wealth. He paid. My grandfather bought that house over there for $30,000, and probably in the past 8 or 9 years of renting that particular house, I've made more money than he paid, interest included. For that house,
right,
and everything, and just outright no loan and stuff like that. So that's one of the things we're gonna even revisit a lot in terms of just that family wealth and everything. That's just that house in particular. I've made more than he even paid, because just say he put interest in, he may have paid $70,000,
right?
And I probably made that just rent that I received and stuff. I know I have, and everything with just doing that,
right,
and stuff. So that just shows how real estate can be that game changing wealth generator for parents. Again, this is Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to it. Man, we reached 1,000 subscribers this past weekend. Again, I want to thank everybody for the support in doing that. We got a lot of videos on the channel. So if you're looking at us on Instagram and Facebook, go to the YouTube channel. And I tell people all the time, and me and Lab always bring this up. Don't worry if they miss the show, because you can always go back and look at the show. Man,
exactly.
You look at all of the shows and all those 1 to 10 minute videos we had. Sometimes we stream live, so got a plethora of information there, a lot of good information. And again, when you get there, you like, share, subscribe to it, leave your comments. I don't look at anything as being a bad comment. We just want to get feedback.
Exactly.
So again, make sure you go to that YouTube channel. You may, sometimes it's coming up now with Changing Lives, but if you put in Deonte Burden, you'll see that little blue silhouette of yours truly pop up. Subscribe to the channel. You'll be dialed in from that point forward.
See that blue player drop. That blue player pop up.
It sounds better when you say it, bro.
That blue player pop up. You gonna click that player.
I tell you how I come. I appreciate it. Now, what we just again, our today's show topic is parents not waiting till your kids are adults to try to discuss finances. What we just brought up were 3 things on how families discuss finances, and the first thing was parents may be open and transparent with their kids about finances, let them know everything that's going on. The second thing is parents more so let kids determine it by themselves, more so from inferring it just by what they have. We got a big house, we got a big car. Mm-hmm. Hey, what you think?
Right.
Hey, we ain't got no lights on, we ain't got no heat on, no water. What you think? What you supposed to say? Figure it out. And the third thing is just hide everything. They don't say a damn thing till you leave in the dark, leave you clueless, and you just gotta be on your way. Just navigate through the dark, find it out. With parents trying to figure out, how to do it. 2 questions I think every parent need to ask themselves. If they want to kind of get their kids on a pathway to learn about finance and being financially literate, having them discussions, is number 1, ask yourself, do you even care? Mm-hmm. Do you even make a big deal to you or whatever and everything? That's I can have my personal feeling saying, yeah, everybody should care, which I do feel that way, but that's a you thing. And I don't think, and I never try to always impose my views, but I think as parents, our jobs is to equip our kids the best we can to live in the world. Mm-hmm. And once you have some kind of knowledge or idea of it, you're empowered. So it's on you to try to spread that information to your kids. So again, that first question got to be just, do you care? Do you even really give a damn, about finances or literacy? Now it's no big deal.
Does it even matter to you?
Yeah.
But it should.
Yeah, absolutely. The second thing you need to ask yourself, do you want to teach your kids about it, or you just let them figure it out on their own? Do you want to be able to be the one they kind of explain that to them and everything, or do you feel like, okay, it's best for they try to bump their heads on their own? We're doing it. Again, I personally think, I should be one of the first teachers. And again, if I can't find out, if I don't know the information, try to steer them in the right direction for the right people to teach them. That's my views on that. And some people look at it like, nah, I'll just let them do that. This work for me. I can't say what's right or wrong, but I can say what I think is more dangerous.
I'm going to say what's right or wrong. And I'm not a fan. I believe that for our children, we should teach them as much as possible about financial literacy, because you never realize how important that little 3-number score is for your livelihood and just getting a roof over your head that's your own. Nobody should want to rent forever. You should always want to try to obtain your own. And that little 3 credit score, knowing how to do certain things and trying to figure out how not to live check to check is a very important thing. So I think that all of us should teach the children. And if we don't know, and we should research and learn together with our children, because it will do less damage to teach them and to learn with them than it would for you to let them find out on their own. Because I found out on my own.
And it's dangerous because I mean to cut you off.
I mean that wasn't good.
Well, also you don't know how they're going to acquire that knowledge. Are they going to acquire that knowledge but somebody's being genuine and teach them, or somebody going to get over them, hit them over the head,
right,
and send your child on financial downfall that they can't really recover from? Because I am the type of parent where I try to present things to my kids and try to teach them, even like what I do with the show, is how to make decisions, how to gather information, make decisions, ask why, analyze it. Sometimes, you can overanalyze stuff like that, but I really do preach thinking with that, because again, my situation is my situation, your situation is just your situation. So I think, the biggest thing with individuals, as long as you know how to research, gather information, process it, and then make your decision, that's the best way to be. But if your child has had no kind of instructions or anything on how to do it, they just ain't gonna damn know.
They just won't know.
And it's a cruel ass world out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cruel world. People are trying to take you left and right. You hear about the older ladies getting schemed out. You see, adults. Everybody just, people just mean and evil. And you don't want your baby to be in a situation again that they can't recover from.
That's true.
And it happens all the time with that. So what I want to do is try to give a couple ideas for parents to kind of do to work towards, helping your kids be more financially literate. Again, this is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Hit the blue man on all the videos. If you see in the video, you want to subscribe to the channel, that's the easy way to do it. Check out all the videos and all the good content we got on there. The two ideas I want to just say, I want to give parents to install financial literacy, okay? The first one is, number one, parents, you got to equip yourselves with knowledge, okay? You got to make sure that you're knowledgeable about what's going on. These blind-ass suggestions in terms of save some money, put some money in your pocket, save $1 a day, or do this, that, and that, put some money on the mattress, or do this, go get your 401k, get this, that, and that. You can't give that kind of information. Because once you give that, you can, but the problem is when you give it, you're going to get questions, the hows, the whys, the whens, and if you're not prepared to answer that, which a lot of folks aren't, they brush it out. Well, I don't know, find out this, that, and that, but I'm just telling you what to do it. Because again, what I previously just stated, one route is not necessarily the best route, and that's what I think a lot of parents have a problem with. They think that their suggestion is the best suggestion. And the suggestion of the route that they took is the best way instead of just being a way, and that's good. And what I've done over the past week is just kind of, poke at folks and tell them what this week's topic is. And, people, you can just do this, put them on this, get them a debit card, get them, save some money, allocate this, that, and that. No, great things to do, but it may not necessarily be the best for your kid.
Right.
And it may not even be the optimal way for you. So I just think parents, you have to, number one, make sure you become financially literate. Make sure that you're learning information. Continue to learn. Sit down with your kids. Talk about credit. Talk about finances. Set goals with them. Hey, we want to go on a trip next year. Let's do this as a family. Let's put a poster board on the refrigerator or something, and we know it's going to be $1,000. We want to divide that total by 12. We know each month we want to try to have that kind of a certain amount allocated, and we just make it fun. We all being like a family of full of accountability partners. Hey, Mama, we about $20 short. We need to put that into the little account for the trip at the end of the year. Make it fun. Set goals together now. Your kids are engaged. They're interacting. You're doing it too. Everybody's being accountable. You made it incremental. Where you can easily attain it and everything, and you're working together. And the narrative have went from a telling and more of a conversing thing. We're doing it because a lot of times as humans we get turned off with people always telling us what to do and giving us damn instructions instead of talking with us. Because again, that ego thing throws a lot of parents off because it's painful to sit here and say, man, I effed up some money years ago and this, that, and I'm not making the money I want to and everything. Because being in the information age, what happens? Well, Daddy, you been working out that job for that. That's all you make now, and everything. And that probably that cut in the parent deep. That's it. Right. And everything. Kids don't have no sense of money. You tell them, look, I made 20,000, 30,000. I did that. That's it. Right. That's all you making. Oh, well, Dad, that's good money. What making good money? Well, I heard you can make this. You gotta have them kind of conversation with kids and everything. So, that's one thing I want parents to kind of start doing. Make sure you become financial literate. Learn what's the best products for you to do, and also to kind of push up with your kids for them to try as well. The second thing is have age-specific conversation with your children. What I mean by that is you know the conversation you need to have with a toddler. You maybe teach them how to count money, recognize bills. What's a quarter? What's a dime? What's a nickel? What's a dollar? What's $20? You go into them preteen ages, actually teaching them, how to go in a store, pay for something, knowing the correct change to get back. Start open up a account for them and everything. When they start working, they get like that 16, 17 years old. Teach them how to analyze the wages.
Mm-hmm.
What's, what are those payroll taxes you're paying out? Who is FICO? Who's Medicare?
Mm-hmm.
What's the percentages coming out and everything? When they fill out that W-4, when they got that job, why are they taking this out? All those kind of questions so a kid knows what's going on. With being a tax accountant, one of the biggest things people just throw at me is, why the hell government taking all my money for tax? Now, understanding those federal dollars pay for the highways, federal agencies and stuff. That people have no concept what the hell taxes are for.
Right.
It's like that's just revenue generated, not understanding that what taxes at the federal, state, and local level, what they apply to.
Yeah.
Those things in terms of your income taxes, your property taxes, what they pay for, and just having no kind of conversations. But that still go back to what we talked about the previous point. Parents, you got to equip yourself with the information to have those kind of conversations with your kids. Kids getting ready to graduate, you start teaching them about basic credit, the different kinds of loans. What is a credit score and everything? Having those kind of conversations, because your kids' aptitude, and you know what they can and can't receive. But don't be afraid to just put a little bit on them. But it goes back to, again, the previous point. You have to equip yourself with information.
Yeah.
So I hope we've gave some good strategies. Again, those two things of what I think parents can do to help instill financial literacy in their kids is, number one, parents, equip yourself with information. Make sure you barrel yourself in with as much money as possible. They have a ton of free seminars where a lot of financial institutions like banks, Credit 101, Banking 101, they give them free. You have them at your libraries and everything. It's readily accessible to you. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel ashamed. Don't have pride clouding your thoughts.
Shit, I ain't figured out the banking part yet. I mean, the way these banks move stuff around in your account and move this to that and that to this, it give me a headache.
I was my undergrad is in finance, and I always remember when we first got there and they explained the whole concept of banks and how they make their money, how they have to have 10% of deposits on hand for the cover loans. And that's why sometimes when you go to a bank, you ever had a situation where you try to cash a check and they say, look, we can't cash a check over this amount because, you're like, well, how you the bank? You don't have it.
Right.
Banks have to have a certain amount on the daily balance of their actual deposits. That's federal law that they have to keep on hand. And they already have a number. Look, we can't give out, and that can change from day to day. We can't give out more than this.
Right.
As far as cashing a check and everything, that we can cash this, give you so much now, come back later for the rest, you deposit it. But I remember just when I was in college and just learning that, it just blew me away.
Right.
In terms of just learning how they made their money off loan interest payments, and also fees. But that's a whole concept. And to be honest with you, a lot of that stuff is free. Banks have it all the time because now they're trying to do what? Get people qualified for loans. So they're giving them kind of classes out. Parents take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Like, again, Google and YouTube University. Free information.
YouTube got everything.
There you go.
It ain't. I don't think, and I may be wrong, but I don't think there's just about anything you can't find on YouTube now.
The most off the wall shit you can think of is right there on YouTube.
I mean, it's amazing to me. I don't want to get off topic, but it's just amazing that in this information age, that you say you can't find the information that you're looking for. You're not looking hard enough. Oh, also say hello to your Facebook fan people and let them know that you will comment on their comments later.
Okay, yeah. Also, like how we bring up each week, we got the different streams going on. So if we're not interacting with you right now and everything, we'll come back to you because we got the YouTube, the Facebook, and Instagram. We appreciate all the dialogue with everything, but some of the things we can't catch you while we're doing it. But I do go back and try to interact with you later and answer your question that you may have during the show. So again, we appreciate you tuning in. But those two things parents can do to help themselves to instill financial literacy in their kids. Number one, equip yourself with information. But the second thing is have those age-specific conversations with your children in regards to what they can learn, And again, remember the babies, teach them how to count money. Teach them how to count money. Get a little older, 7, 8, 9 years old. Hey, you bought that for $5. You gave them a 10. How much change you supposed to get back? They get a teenager, start working. Teach them how to read that pay stub. This is what's coming out for now. Like I said, open up a saving account. Teach them what's going on. They get ready to leave out your house. Y'all having conversations about basic credits and different kind of loan products. But again, remember to have those conversations. You have to get it. The thing about this show, like I tell anybody, once you got information, you're what? Empowered. So the onus is back on you. We can cower out sometimes, say, I didn't know. That's no excuse for anybody now. I would tell that's one of the most important things I learned in the military. There's no excuse for ignorance.
Right.
And when I was in the damn military, we just had those regs. Like now you have Google and YouTube, so you can find it out. So again, I hope you enjoy the information. And it helps you in regards to parents know what your child is grown to have those conversations about finance and stuff with your children. Again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to it. You can also go to the Change Your Lives Facebook page. We have the same information on YouTube. We'll roll it over to there. So if you miss it you have a chance to catch it on YouTube, you can catch it on Facebook also. Now, with that said, we're going to go roll over to our financial/business tip for this week. Staying on with the subject we're talking about today is I want to give parents a couple tips on how to establish credit for your children. Okay? Now, the first way I'm going to give you, a lot of parents have used this in a illegal manner. And what I say sometimes in return to getting credit and light and all that kind of stuff in your kid's name, your kid turn around, you done did it, and they look at later, and I ain't never had a damn water bill. Yes, you did. You had this and all that in 1990 something. No, I was a baby. So this is not what that's for. But what the tip I want to give you is I'm gonna give you two good tips, and if you do this for your children, I guarantee it's going to help you out a whole lot more than them. The first tip is when you have a credit card, you can get a credit card and make sure your child, they get 17, 18, legally where they can have credit, make them authorized user. And that credit card can be one of those credit cards you just use for subtle transactions. Just say you may, go to the store every now and then, use that card. Excuse me. You may sometimes, drink went down the wrong pipe. Yeah, Mike. But it may just be a card you use, seldomly. You get it, you pay it off. You're establishing some credit for your kid. They're authorized user. They're listed on the card. It's not a card you're going to run up, but they have some transactions. But keeping in mind, this is a revolving debt, credit card debt. Excuse me. So it's the least impactful of the different kind of credit vehicles. They'll be on a credit report, but they have something established. So that's the first thing. Get a card, make them authorized user. They don't have to, it's not necessarily a card they're using, but they have, you have it. You give them some kind of establishment, just having some kind of credit. The second one is probably the most powerful. Is what I recommend a parent doing is go getting a, excuse me, is helping the kid go getting a secure loan. Now the kid will have to go get it themselves. Now I'm saying kid, we're still talking about a young adult. Let me change that. We're talking about a young adult. So we're talking about somebody maybe, at least 18 years old. You take them down there and get a secured loan. What a secured loan is, you can go to the bank, and most banks, some have a minimum of $250, but probably I think the minimum on most of them are like $500. You get it, tell me you want a secured loan, they take that $500, put it, apply it, and then they'll give you a loan for $1,000. You can make a couple payments towards that $1,000, maybe 5 months in, pay it back. The key, what you've done is, with the secure loan is what's called installment credit. Same thing if you're having a line of credit, a signature loan, or even a car note. The most powerful part about that, now when they have that installment debt, now you alleviated the situation where your kid may have to come to you later on, hey, Dad, I want to get a car. Mama, I want to get a car. They already have traction of just some credit card activity. Now they have that installment loan. They have some solid established credit. And that's where you're putting your kids in a situation where they have to come back and now you have to help them, but they co-signing for a car. You don't have to, because you already got a credit card with them, having established credit. You don't have to get a credit card for them so they can get some furniture. They have this stuff already in place for them. You help them establish that. So again, if you can do that, you'll see how easy it is for them to get a car if they have the income to substantiate it on that. So that secured loan, getting that installment down their credit card is very, very impactful. And then, the most powerful being a mortgage. If they already have that on their credit report, I guarantee you, if the income is there, they won't have any problem getting a mortgage, getting a home loan. So those are two things I think parents can do to help their kids establish credit in a safe way, and also it'll benefit them with getting everything started. But also, most importantly, don't put you in a situation where you got to help them out and put your neck out for them and everything. Right. So I hope those tips helped you parents out. Again, most importantly, parents, you got to make sure you're learning what to do with that, because again, we don't want to put our babies out there in a situation where they can get taken over by wolves, or we can affect our relationships we have with our kids because we're fussing with them about what they didn't do or didn't, you messed up this, you messed up that. Because again, do you have some kids that are gonna be totally damn undisciplined? Yeah, just like you're gonna have some adults. But a lot of times people make mistakes because they don't know.
That's true.
And that's one of my main goals in life, is to get people out of the element of talking about what they don't know and putting themselves where they take the initiative themselves to make it where they do know.
And try to find out.
Exactly. Because again, so the intentional ignorance. I ain't got to be accountable for as long as I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, but we not gonna. But we ain't gonna let you pull that card. We ain't gonna let you pull that card.
I ain't know.
Nah, but there's no way in the hell any adult should even say that. There's no way in the hell any adult should say that. Right. When you have Google and YouTube, hell, you can get you a little cheap ass prepaid legal, $15 to $20 a month, that they'll review anything for you. Look over contracts, 10 pages free. All that stuff is accessible to you. A lot of times people have those things happen in life. Well, go call legal aid and all that kind of stuff. No, just get all that stuff together, and then you can do that. And that's what I really want to preach on everybody, just that accountability and knowing what's going on. So I hope those tips helped you. Again, get that little credit card and make them authorized user, make a couple purchases for it, make those payments. Now they have credit card activity. Second thing is, go get that secure loan for your kids. Now they have installment debt listed on their credit report. They won't, like I said, the income is there. They won't have any issues getting any kind of car notes or any kind of signature loans. Again, then if that's on there, trust me, if the income is there, they won't have any problem getting any mortgages. So I hope those two tips helped you. Okay. Again, this is Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please make sure you're looking at those videos, leaving comments, feedback, and stuff like that. I'm real proud of the growth we've had over the past couple months. We've made a lot of long strides since November. Yeah. And I want to keep going on that same uptick with everything. But right now we're going to the conclusion of the show. And I know today they buried Nipsey Hussle. There was a lot of coverage in there. Now, like I said, man, I hate hearing stuff like that happen, because you look at somebody that's so young, 33, to miss so much life. You hate to see stuff like that happen. You wish people can handle stuff in a better way. But I want to go into something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way with that whole situation, in terms of, the other day I think Kodak Black came out and said something about, about Lauren London, and he'll get with her, and everybody just went ballistic. And excuse me. Yeah, so many people like, hey, it's disrespectful. You had a lot of these older rappers and stuff coming out saying you need to check yourself, and they were just going heated. Radio stations were saying, they're not going to play his music, and just going crazy. Right. And, look, kid, he ignorant as hell. He like, F y'all, I say what the hell I want to say, and everything. This is what bothers me with that whole situation, okay? Was it crazy and very disrespectful for the young man to say that? Absolutely. What's the problem with that? He's always saying shit like that. He's always degraded black women, always degraded people, said some of the most foul, sick, sadistic shit. And everybody, that's Kodak, that's Kodak, that's Kodak. And I got a problem with, like I say, this selective conscience, this selective activism.
Yeah.
You know, when these brothers come out and, hey, man, you need to check it. But when he calling black women B's and H's, he was talking about the light-skinned sister and the dark-skinned sister, black, dark-skinned women ain't this. Why you don't check that?
Right.
And see, that's what a lot of brothers don't understand when we lose a lot of validity, where we're always trying to preach about we're not getting respect from other races and stuff like that. Check it like that. You know, when we were growing up, and the old head said something to you, he came to you, hey, lad, let me holler at you right quick. He might read your ass in private, then embarrass you, talk to you like a man. You might didn't like all of it, but you respect it because he came at you right. You got these damn men, they damn 40s. I'm lost with this shit.
I'm trying to be 22.
Yeah, arguing, putting a post with it. You know, this kid, I don't think that kid 25 years old.
Yeah, I think he probably like 23, 24.
Yeah. And you 40-something years old, number one, instead of you calling him, you make a video, which I'm just saying something I don't think men need to be doing. You make a video giving that comment for the information to go back to him, not you just stating it. I don't know him, so I'm just stating something. These people are making a video for him to address instead of just calling him. And so you're going to get an ignorant response. Right. And that's the thing about it, just say that selective activism, that selective conscience. When he's talking about sisters and talking about this, and even some of them same guys, y'all made a lot of careers and made a career in money, degrading women, degrading sisters. And then all of a sudden that happens, now we got a conscience. You crazy as hell. And that's why white folks don't take you serious.
You can't be hypocritical. You can't be hypocritical. You can't one day decide that this is bitch is a whole. I'm sorry about this on Chain Live. We don't cuss like this on this show. But you can't decide that one day you're gonna be a B and H, and the next day you can't do that because if that's how it's always gone. I'm giving you a good example. If you tell a little kid, if a little kid is always throwing their food on the floor all the time, you never say nothing about it. Then all of a sudden when you got company, he throw that food on the floor, you say something about it, he gonna look at you crazy like, I've been doing this for 2 years now.
Why you tripping?
Why you tripping?
When I seen the video with Game was going off, and he just made the song about Kim Kardashian, and that's somebody's wife.
Right.
And
same premise.
Okay, I do what I want to do, but then when somebody else says that again, it's foul that the kid did it, but you can check them and everything, do it, but you don't do it on that. But you forgetting what you did.
Right.
And I'm just saying, like, I'm still going back. I'm tripping these men making videos and stuff like that, and that's like I said, we done lost that whole conscience of how we handle and how we reconcile
we don't interact
stuff
with people like we used to.
No,
our interaction has gone away. There's no interaction now. It's pretty much, let me put this up here. I know he gonna see it because somebody gonna show it to him, and that be that. But social media has messed up the communication.
To that point, men still handle stuff like men. Males may handle stuff all kind of damn ways, but men handle stuff like men.
Right.
And same to women too, But again, that's what I really want to address is that we can't have shit both ways. We can't sit here and do one thing, and then when something happened to us or somebody that we care about, we have a whole different set of values and standards and morals. You can't do shit like that. If you're going to preach it one way, you got to live the same way. And you can't be imposing that on other people and checking them when you're doing the same shit. And we got to get away from that.
Yeah.
And that's why you get a response like that. F y'all, I do what the hell I want to do and everything. I think if he probably got called to the side and talked, he might have handled that a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, because that little boy crazy.
You blasting him, so he blasting you back. And y'all
Exactly.
just blasting each other back on Instagram, and it's not getting anywhere because everybody's stubborn and nobody wants to listen to each other. Everybody wants to get their point across.
And from the outside looking in, who can tell who's the fool?
Exactly.
So again, I hope, everybody thinks on that and stuff, especially when you're dealing with people, and think about that. People, especially with our children and stuff, they look at what we do more than what we say. So always be conscious of that. But also, don't be, like Lab said, you can't be hypocritical.
Yeah, I always say it's not a problem until it's your problem.
Absolutely. But again, I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. This is Deonte Burden, host of Changing Lives. Just rehash. Remember, we got a couple days left of tax season. Make sure you touch base with us, Majestic Business Services. If you can't get the taxes, you have not got them done, and you don't know if you can get everything together, give us a call. We can put the extension in for you. Our number is 678-479-4007. Again, that's 678-479-4007, Majestic Business Services. Give us a call. We're taking appointments. Working almost 24/7 for the next couple of days, but if we can't get it done, we'll put an extension in for it, but at least just reach out to us. Again, make sure you go to the YouTube channel. I appreciate it again. Can't thank you guys enough for helping us reach 1,000 subscribers. Want to continue to grow, put out good information to you. But the main way we're going to be able to grow and do that stuff and put the good information, you guys have to go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to it, look at the videos, leave a lot of comments and everything for us so we can make adjustments and changes with that. And again, thanks a lot. You take care. See you guys next week. Love you all, and goodbye.